We are going to talk today about our small mammals. So in our notes, we're going to have the characteristics of the animal group or species, some health concerns, and then a fun fact about that animal group or species. We're going animal group or species here because some of them we will be talking species specific. Others, there are different species of those animals within that category. So we'll go ahead and start. And we have our ID quiz resources here. We have some interesting articles, one about just keeping exotic pets, different zoonosis and diseases that we can get from New World monkeys, and also keeping assistant monkeys. So people that have disabilities, they may have a helper monkey. So we have some interesting facts about that that are going to be in here for us to take a look at. So we'll go ahead and get started with our Quizlet set. The first animal that we're going to look at is a chinchilla, or our chinchillas. So their health concerns are definitely dental problems. They can also get gastric ulcers because they are very sensitive in their diet. Bloat is something we can even see, as well as constipation. So they are rodents. Their classification are rodents. So they have teeth that constantly grow and need to be ground down, those incisors. So we can actually see the root grow and cause abscesses and rot within the mouth. So it can cause a lot of different issues. Would not be uncommon for an animal, for a chinchilla, to have to go and get its teeth floated every 6 months or so, just to make sure that they're grinding down their teeth properly. They live about 10 to 15 years in captivity. They're originally from the Andes Mountains of North Chile, so that is where you can find them out in the wild. And there is our cute little picture of our chinchilla. The next we have are our ferrets. So there are different species of ferrets. So this is kind of your domestic ferrets that we're going to talk about. So health concerns is that they are actually able to get canine distemper. They can have ear mites, lymphoma, insulinoma, and hypoadrenocorticism. So insulinoma, hypoadrenocorticism, these are things that we see very often, along with their lymphoma. So many times as a ferret becomes geriatric, which at about 4 years, they're actually kind of in that old ferret life, because we have pretty much one breeder, Marshall Farms, that breeds our ferrets for us in the States. And so their lifespan is only 6 to 8 years in the US. Now, if you're able to, in the UK, Australia, Europe, their ferrets are able to live about 8 to 15 years. And that's because they are not spaying and neutering them when they're so young. So with ferrets, we want to wait a little bit longer for us to spay them, but unfortunately, the breeder that we have in the States does not. So they get spayed and neutered very soon, very early on in their life, which then causes that hyperadrenocorticism, and then with the inbreeding and just that lack of genetic diversity, we have the insulinoma and lymphoma. They are originally from Europe, and they are in the classification of Mustelidae. So Mustelidae, this is why they smell, where we get that word must from. The next, here we go. That's a black-footed ferret out in the wild. All right. The next thing we're going to look at are gerbils. Gerbils look kind of similar to hamsters, except gerbils have a tail. So they're prone to getting nasal dermatitis. They can also get mouse pinworms. They only live about 2 to 3 years. They are common domesticated species that originated from Mongolia, actually. So they are a rodent. And again, they are going to have tails. So they like to hop around a lot. They definitely jump. And then they've got this awesome foofy tail that helps with that. So they are escape artists. Next, we have our guinea pigs. So we got our G pigs. They can have chronic dermatitis or skin issues, chlamydial conjunctivitis, dermatophytosis, which is a fungal infection. They can also have hypovitaminosis C or vitamin C deficiency. So you will see people supplementing their diet with spinach. You'll see people supplementing their diet with oranges. They also have vitamin drops. So they are not able to produce and convert vitamin C from um, the foods like we're able to. So we need to supplement their diet with vitamin C. Um, they can live about 6 to 8 years. They're actually also from the Andes Mountains, but of Peru and Bolivia. And they are classified as rodents. And there we have a little short-haired guinea pig with the little calic. So there are a lot of different color patterns, a lot of different hair patterns as well, from the colic, from the long hair, from the short hair. There's naked guinea pigs. You can have a very wide variety of skin coat with these little ones. Next, we have our hamsters. So hamsters, they get intestinal diseases, which we'll often hear as wet tail. So unfortunately, once your hamster gets wet tail, it's a pretty poor prognosis. They're also prone to lymphoma or type of cancer. Lifespan is about 2 to 3 years, and the species we generally see here are originated from Syria, Russia, and Mongolia. Their classifications are rodents. So here we have a cute little hamster right there. They also come in various sizes and colorings as well. Next we have is our hedgehog. So we have the cute little hedgehogs. Health concerns are mites, acariasis, which is the genus of mites that they're able to get. We do have dental diseases, pneumonia, because their temperature, actually their environmental temperature is very specific. They can have gastric ulcerations, neoplasia, and hypocalcemia or calcium deficiency. They are insectivores, so it's very important to get that diet right. And we haven't really found great complete hedgehog diets yet on the market. We're getting there. They're originally from Central and Eastern Africa, and their classification is Aranacidae. Again, they are a type of insectivore. Here we go. This is a hedgehog right here. So adorable. And then we have our sugar gliders. So we love our sugar gliders. Some concerns is definitely bacterial infections. They can also get toxoplasmosis, malnutrition due to lack of proper feeding, which is why we feed our sugar gliders a variety of foods. So the dry food on its own would be a complete balanced diet. The HPW on its own would also be a complete balanced diet, but we make sure that we give them that variety so they can also then grind their teeth because they are prone to dental disease. If you guys have ever looked inside of their mouth, they have two very large top incisors and two very large bottom incisors. So we want to make sure that we're giving them things that they can kind of file those teeth down with. They're not constantly growing, but they do need proper teeth care, and that's provided with the foods that they are able to eat, because that chewing will get rid of the tartar and plaque on their teeth. They can have some behavioral disorders, tumors as well. Our lifespan, we're going to be about 9 to 12 years old. And they are originally from Australia, New Guinea, and Indonesia. And they are classified as marsupials. There we have a little sugar glider right there. So those are our small mammals.